See you in hell, Dan.
The internet is dead. Facebook is a graveyard. Twitter's now called something else. Can't remember what the details are. TikTok is a feed of ads. And Instagram is somehow worse than that. I guess we'll try out Blue Sky and Threads. Cause the internet is dead. But as long as there's a block button somewhere to press. As long as there's that post that need be addressed. As long as there's some segues that haven't been said, we'll be dancing through all of the grave of the internet. It's a block party with Stefan and John. Quack.
Hello, friends, idiots, and friends who are also idiots. Welcome to your favorite podcast about social media and rejection. It is Blocked Party. This is episode number 304. I'm John.
I'm Stefan.
And with us is a fantastic guest, a returning guest to the program, a fan favorite who first appeared on the show all the way back on episode 4, and now exactly 300 episodes later.
God. Did you plan that?
Nope. I just thought of it right now in my head, but she is back again. You may know her as the author of the fantastic book Raw Dog. You may know her as one half of the Bechdel cast, or from her brand new, absolutely fantastic podcast, 16th Minute. Jamie Loftus is here. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, guys. I was saving this for when we started recording. It's just interesting that you chose to summon me on 9/11.
That was planned.
Pack of Canadians when I was just trying to quietly observe.
When John says that was planned, he's referring to 9/11, by the way.
Yes, by George Bush.
Yeah.
And jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
Or Joe
you know.
Biden. I don't know if you saw the clip of him saying, "I'm doing 9/11 tomorrow."
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. See, I wasn't sure if that was like a deep fake or I believe it.
No,
That's
it was.
fine.
It's very real. He says, "I'm going to my my granddaughter's recital, and then I'm doing 9/11 tomorrow."
Yeah.
That's wild. That's so early for a recital. That's how you know he's up to something. He was going to a recital at 6 a.m. Like it would have to be really early.
That's a great point. Yeah.
I don't think Joe Biden can fly a plane. I'll just put that out there. I think it'd be tough for him to do 9/11 based on the fact that I don't think he can fly a plane.
Yeah. I will say it has been.
Is it why?
Well, I guess he's very old and
because he's
feeble, I think. And it has been kind of nice not seeing him because it was so depressing seeing him like talking and stuff. So it is sort of nice.
It was more depressing seeing him walking. I feel like it would literally seem like they had him on like a dolly, and then they would just like shuffle him off of it, and then he would like have to walk to stuff.
I didn't watch
so dark.
It was bad. I didn't watch the debate yesterday because I used to have to do that like for my job, which and Jamie, you did some stuff for Cafe as well. Not political stuff necessarily, but I remember having to like live tweet the debates and stuff, and the 2016 ones were like so much worse. This one was like I saw like clips of it, and it seemed really fucking crazy. It
was wild.
Yeah. Did you watch the whole thing?
No, this was, I think, the first one in a while I didn't watch the whole thing. You're just, I don't know. I don't know what is the right amount of engaged to be.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, because the whole thing that all the channels do is like, well, we're going to go to our panel of undecided voters afterwards. Which is like this, we're going to go to the stupidest people in America and see what's going on. And then most of them are already Trump voters too. When people actually like look into them. But you had like multiple people saying like, yeah, I think Trump controlled that debate. I think he won that debate pretty handily.
Yeah, no question about it.
By the way, yeah,
which is nuts. I don't know. Yeah, I've interviewed Ken Bone recently about like the process of being like recruited for that and like how you're treated and what happens. And yeah, I mean, he was very like straightforward about it. He's like, it's just really weird. Like it's like they just sort of. And that you're sort of, there's this feeling that you, beside other undecided voters, they don't really say what issues are important to you that neither candidate is addressing. They don't really say where you're leaning, but you like, I guess his thing was he was leaning voting Democrat, but thought they like didn't have a platform for a specific issue, but it's just everyone is presented in this like, here are these people like that can't read, like it's making it seem like they just learned about voting. It's like, well, there could just be something that's important, but TV isn't built for that. It's dumb.
They're undecided because they're stupid as fuck.
These are
the undecided feels like the wrong word for it. It's I want information about something neither candidate has an interest in, which you're like, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, it's just made to be like, they just learned about these people yesterday. Well, they want to hear what they have to say.
Do you guys think there's someone in the United States who, and I feel like there was an article about this with Obama a few years ago, but there's someone living in the United States, like an adult living in the United States, who doesn't know who Donald Trump is, or like doesn't know who, like I feel like there probably is, but like it's gonna be like a hermit in the woods, right? Like maybe non-hermit division. Is there someone who doesn't know who the president is? Is that possible?
It's like someone in the Leto cult or something. Someone who hasn't been like let outside for a really long time.
Yeah. Yeah, or someone
I think there are people who, who I would say is like, there's probably like an athlete out there who maybe doesn't know. Because I feel like there are athletes who just like legitimately do not engage with the world or like news.
I feel like they all have like social media though, and it's impossible to avoid.
That's true.
And also, a lot of athletes that I know of are like big Trump guys. So
for sure. I just remember. I think I've told this story on the show before about like I had a friend who is from Nova Scotia, and like her friend went on a date with Sidney Crosby,
right?
And she was just like, he was like really nice. It was like a nice time, but he just has not engaged with the world on like any, like you can't talk to him, like he just. All he knows is stuff about hockey, and if you can't talk about hockey, he just like doesn't know anything.
It was like Jonathan Bernier, former NHL goaltender.
Yeah, who thought Nelson Mandela was a goalie.
Yes.
No, really?
Yeah, because the Toronto Maple Leafs were doing something to honor Nelson Mandela, and they were asking him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, he had like a great career as like a hockey player."
Yes.
Which I guess, if your hockey team is honoring someone and you don't know who it is, it's a safe bet, I think. Maybe that it's related to hockey somehow.
Sure.
Yeah.
God,
I mean, it's pretty, it's pretty rough. I'm trying to, this is what he says. He says, well, obviously growing up, he's one of the most known athletes in the world. A lot of impact in any kind of sport that he did. And even playing hockey, everyone knows him, right? For being the type of person that he was off the ice and on the ice.
Who does he think it is?
It's unfortunate that he passed a year ago, but he changed a lot while he was with us, and he's a tremendous guy.
Who does he think? So, because I mean, there is, isn't there the Matt Damon like rugby movie?
Invictus, yeah.
Invictus, right? So maybe he watched that and thought he was like
100%
a rugby guy, right?
Yeah.
He fell asleep during Invictus and then kind of bullshitted his way through. I mean, I've done that with movies before.
It would rock to be that stupid. I think it would legitimately be so cool to be that stupid.
It sounds like he started the sentence thinking he was a rugby player.
Yes.
But then was like, wait a minute, this is an event for hockey players.
I play hockey.
Maybe he was a hockey player. He might actually no. Okay, you're right. He was a hockey player.
Who also
not a
played
rugby player. I was getting that mixed up.
Yeah. God.
You can see the dots connecting. It's always weird. I mean, I feel like athletes are probably like the lowest there, where it's like the threshold to be impressed with like basic literacy, like is it, if an athlete can read, people are like, holy shit. And if they can form a coherent opinion about anything, like all the better. I don't know. Every time I've met an athlete, which hasn't been much, but like, I don't know. My favorite athlete I ever met was Zdeno Chara, and he was just like, they're so big. They're so big. They're too big. And if they can form like 3 sentences and be that big, I was like, holy shit, he's a genius.
Yeah, it's really impressive. Like Dougie Hamilton got run out of, was it Boston or was it Carolina? I know
it was Calgary.
It was Calgary, yeah, and his teammates didn't get along with him because you're right.
It was Carolina. That's why Calgary got him.
Yeah.
He got ran out of Carolina.
He got ran out of Carolina specifically, and so, I forget who called this out. It was just some hockey reporter, but specifically, he got run out of Carolina because he didn't really get along with his teammates. Because on off days, he would go to museums, and they were like, "What?"
Yeah,
I love
like I mean,
that.
the undertext there, the subtext there is like is that they think he's gay because he's going to museums. I think that was like the
I
you don't
would
want to
not
hang,
have
you don't
gotten
want to
there
hang
in
out
a
with us and
million
drink
years.
beers. You want to go to museums.
I think the reporting was sort of slanted that way, where it was like, it was a very strange. And I think he reads books and stuff, and
nuts.
The funniest thing to me is always when
like a gay guy would.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's just
I think reading is pretty gay.
Well, yeah. I mean, the funniest thing to me is when a pro athlete, like off the ice or off the field or whatever, is wearing glasses. Because it feels like when Homer is wearing glasses and he has like jury duty. Like I love that. I think it's so, and it's always the athlete you don't expect to wear glasses. Like one of my favorite players of all time is Jarkko Ruutu, who was this like total shithead on the Canucks. And he would wear these like tiny little glasses, like these little Morpheus glasses off the ice. And it was like the funniest thing in the world because he was such an asshole on the ice. It was crazy. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about like dumb pro athletes is like, I feel like when Deadspin was around and actually good, I want to say they did like the best like pro athlete quotes of the year. And there were some wild ones in there. There were some really good ones. And they also do, of course, the name tournament, which is just fantastic. I think maybe Defector does that still, hopefully, but God.
I enjoyed, they've slipped right out of my brain as soon as they entered, but like the tennis names over the summer were fucking nuts. Like it's just the most like country club names you could possibly think of, like more syllables than I thought was possible for like a 16-year-old to have.
Yeah.
Well, it was also like like right now, two of the best tennis players are like the children of billionaires. So
it's the Buffalo Sabres owner.
Yeah,
right?
Jessica Pegula just lost the U.S. Open final, and her parents are Terry and Kim Pegula, who own the Buffalo Sabres and the Buffalo Bills, and are just like huge billionaires. And then an American male made the final as well, Taylor Fritz, and his mom is Macy's heir.
Jesus Christ.
And so they're both from like billionaires. So it's hard because Jessica Pegula actually seems like a very normal and well-adjusted person.
Yeah,
like,
I kind of liked her.
Yeah, totally. Like in interviews and stuff, she seems very cool and very normal, but it's also like when you're it's like, do I cheer for this person who is really maybe only great at this sport because her parents just invested millions of dollars.
It's so funny to be that rich and like you win a big tournament and it's like, this is like nothing to me. This does not matter to me at all, like financially.
I think a lot about I just covered this the Mormon influencer Ballerina Farm. Do you guys know about her?
No.
Okay, I love how different men's algorithms are. It's wild.
Her name is Ballerina Farm.
No, John, she lives on Ballerina Farm.
Okay.
Right.
She's the eponymous ballerina.
Okay.
Sorry, Jamie, my fault.
My algorithm is all deformed cats. And the more I like them, the more deformed they get. So it's kind of like, anyway, I want to get some Ballerina Farm content.
I loved getting to tell people about, because she has 10 million followers, which is like the most insane thing to me about the internet is that she can have 10 million followers and you don't know she exists.
Yeah.
You're not missing out on anything. She's like a big trad wife influencer.
Right.
Who it's like really sad. Like there was a profile of her that came out this year that like she trained at Juilliard to be a ballerina.
Oh, I do know her. Irene read that article and was telling me about it. Yeah. Okay.
So you do. Yeah, you do need to know a girl.
Yeah, you needed a woman to hold your hand.
Yeah.
It's depressing because she's, like selling the trad wife lifestyle, but she had this really promising career as a ballerina. And then because of Mormon stuff, was pregnant when she graduated, could never really be a ballerina, and then like pivoted to influencing, and then like yada yada yada. You find out that she's married to the heir to the JetBlue fortune.
Yeah.
So they're like making this homesteading. They're like, you have to, drink raw milk. You have to do things that will kill your children, but they have JetBlue money,
right?
Like, and it's just like, I don't know. Secret nepotism is always fascinating.
It is. It really is. God.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Zach Hyman, hockey player for the Edmonton Oilers. What are his parents are just like really rich. I don't know what it is exactly,
I can't remember what it is for his dad, but yeah.
There was a lot of discourse about that. And then going back even further, Mike Comrie.
Yeah,
also from
his dad owned the Brick.
The Brick, which is a chain of Canadian like cheap furniture stores. Yeah.
Wait, what do you guys think about Bugaboo Creek? Did you guys ever get that?
I don't know what that is either.
What is that?
Oh God, I'm striking up today.
No. It's
Bugaboo Creek
it's a restaurant. I thought it was going to be like a cartoon.
It's like a themed restaurant of Canada. That was near my house. Is animatronics of Canada, and the host was a talking tree.
What?
And there was like animatronic moose taxidermy. It was just like what I thought forever. I thought Canada was exactly like Bugaboo Creek.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
so this is the Canadian version of Outback Steakhouse, basically.
Exactly.
But mixed in with a little bit of what was the jungle themed restaurant?
Rainforest
Cafe. It's because you have Timber, the talking Christmas tree, who would be programmed to tell customers about Canadian history and natural attractions.
Yeah, because in Canada, we keep our Christmas trees up all year long. And our national anthem is also to the tune of O Tannenbaum, according to Greg Bartholomew, anthem singer for the Las Vegas Posse of the CFL.
Really?
Oh, this is okay. The characters, and these are the animatronics, would break the fourth wall, sardonically referencing their status as perpetually trapped robots. What?
Oh, boy.
I don't remember that. Wow.
Maybe that was just like one of the robots actually coming to life. Possibly.
Says local restaurants would name these animatronics such as Moxie the Moose or Goose the Moose.
Okay, so it's mostly moose, I guess.
Yeah, classic flapping fish were included alongside raccoons or weasels who would pop out of wooden barrels.
Oh, this next sentence here is so good. This is like Wikipedia to a T. As after each restaurant closed, the non-robotic mounts were sold at local auctions. Yet the locations of the talking moose and buffaloes are unknown. Theorized, and then in brackets, by whom, to have found other homes and other game-themed restaurants.
I love whoever added the by whom. That's like the people keeping Wikipedia alive.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's Annie. That's Annie Rauerda, definitely.
Yes.
Being like, I'm not.
I can't believe I've never heard of this. No, it was.
I have never heard of this. Did you like it, James? Like, did you go there often?
Loved it. I loved it. Yeah, it was like my good report card restaurant. Like because the Chuck E. Cheese in our town closed, and then it was like, well, at least we've got the creek. And I loved Timber. We had Moxie the Moose. I was thrilled anytime we got sat near Moxie. The food, I don't even remember. It was just like American bar food.
It just says,
I don't think that they
classic steakhouse offerings. Yeah.
It was like the Outback of Canada, but
I have never heard of this. It says they owned like 30 restaurants at their peak. There was 30 of them, apparently. It started in Rhode Island in 1992 and went up until the mid 2010s.
It's kind of crazy it lasted that long.
I feel like they outlasted most rainforest cafes at that point.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a few rainforest cafes left because I remember seeing a YouTube video where this guy went to every rainforest cafe in the United States. But this is incredible. This is such a good reveal. I have never heard of this.
The Wayback Machine has their old website up too.
Is it any good?
Can you send it to Dan? I'd love to see this on screen here.
Sure. Yeah. This is the website here. Just put it in the chat. There you go. I mean, there's definitely some interesting. I'm going to tell you right now. The initial image is of a cutlery and a napkin, and the napkin is folded, and it looks like a pussy. I'm just going to say that right away.
Okay. I don't know if I would have made that.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You know what a pussy looks like, John?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
This is a good deal. $8 lunch combos. That's pretty. I mean, this is back in 2016.
Yeah, this is I guess 2016. Yeah, March 14th, 2016.
Look what they took from us. Oh my God.
$3 happy hour.
Can you go to our story, Dan? What do they say about I'm curious what their story is.
Yeah, especially a story out of Rhode Island. I have questions.
Oh, $3 beer during happy hour? Oh my God.
Right?
Oh, here we go.
Your Canadian Rockies retreat. I can't believe no one's ever told you guys about Bugaboo Creek.
This is crazy.
This is nuts.
When you step inside one of our warm, rustic mountain lodges, you immediately will feel transported to a simpler time and place.
This is...
Oh no, they call the servers trail guides? Yuck.
Oh my God.
I did not remember that.
Oh.
God. See, and I love how there is no story, is what.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even really say Canada there, right? Like it says Canadian Rockies Retreat, but then in the 3 paragraphs of copy below that, it doesn't say anything about Canada or like why they chose Canada or anything.
Oh, they have moose juice for $5. That's pretty good.
Oh, what's in the juice? You know what?
Pineapple infused vodka. With a sugar
moose juice.
Yeah, interesting.
That's
you guys need to go down, scroll down.
Oh, the Bunyan onion. That's their version of the bloomin' onion, I guess.
Fun.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, so this is like a direct ripoff.
Jamie, what was your go-to when you were there? Is this menu ringing a bell? Any of these items?
No, it's like I was a kid. I feel like I just got whatever was on. I probably just got chicken fingers.
Yeah,
or something.
They do have a kids menu on the main page that seemed it was like chicken fingers, mac and cheese, burger maybe. Dan, if you go kids corner right there.
Yeah, it's a classic kids menu.
Then I think that was it. I was all in for Timber the Tree. Timber the Tree was the best. It was like the best restaurant to wait at for me. My dad really hated going.
I can fully imagine a parent just absolutely hating, like they're already hating that they're waiting for a shitty restaurant they don't want to eat at, and then some animatronic tree is repeating the same thing over and over again.
Like 5 Snapple facts about Canada. Like
actually, Dan, can you bring it up again and go to the Twitter page if you click the Twitter link at the bottom, because it is the archived version of it so this will bring you back to 2014 Twitter. Arguably the last time it was good. But the tweets are just so funny because all the images are dead, so there's no images. But I really like the second post. Can you unscramble our most tender cut of meat? TERCNE space TCU. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Center cut steak.
That's right. Yeah, and then if you scroll down, there's a few. I mean, they weren't getting too much buzz on their Twitter necessarily, but
doesn't seem like it. No.
Spurs versus Heat game 2 tips tonight. Who do you think will take home the NBA crown? No replies to that one. And then in honor of D-Day, it's trivia time. Who was the first American soldier to make it to Normandy in the invasion? Again, no replies to that one.
Is that like a known fact? The first American soldier to make it to Normandy?
And not for nothing, why is it an American-themed trivia night?
It should be Canadian. Yeah, it should be a Canadian question. Yeah.
Here we go. Can you unscramble this Bugaboo menu favorite? Chifis nad.
That's gotta be fish and chips, I would think. Yeah,
fish and chips.
Oh my God, this is so good.
I wish I knew who. I'm trying to figure out who founded it, because people who found chain restaurants are always like absolutely out of their fucking minds. I think it was an episode of Podcast The Ride I was on where I learned about the guy who like founded Rainforest Cafe, who was just like one of the most unhinged people.
Yes.
Ever, who was just like deeply unwell, really believed in the vision, like to raise money. He like threatened to kill himself.
Oh my God.
If he wasn't able to raise enough money for the Rainforest Cafe. I respect it. I don't know. And Rainforest
I feel like
Cafe
we learned sorry, go ahead, Jamie.
Oh, I was just going to say another fact about the rainforest.
No, I would love to hear it.
Well, the last one I went to was in a mall in Arizona. And I guess the only reason it's there is because they were so confident that the Rainforest Cafe would be there forever that they built like the mall around the idea that, so there's like a huge, I don't know how to describe it, but there's like, part of the mall looks like a jungle, like it's built into the concrete, so you couldn't possibly put another restaurant in there. And so I asked the waiter, and he was like, yeah, like we should technically be closed, but it would be more expensive to remove this restaurant than just keep it open with no one coming.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
It's kind of beautiful. It can't close.
Dan, I found an ad for Bugaboo Creek here. It's
Bugaboo
like 30 seconds long.
was owned by a guy named Edward P. Grace, who is still around. He was the past chairman, president, and CEO of the Capitol Grill, as well as the Bugaboo Creek steak chains. He took Bugaboo Creek, his group, public in 1994. Then he sold them to Longhorn Steaks in 1996. So basically he founded it, and then 2 years later was like, yeah, good enough, I'm out. And now he is currently on the board of directors for Benihana.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
So he's just a restaurant guy.
Okay.
Yeah. He
All
loves
right.
a specifically themed experience. Now he's a hibachi man.
Okay, yeah, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, coming back. And favorites. You just can't beat the delicious large portions in our warm atmosphere. Our variety of mouth-watering dishes are sure to impress the taste buds of the whole family. Whether it's a special occasion or just a night on the town, the bar at Bugaboo Creek can quench your thirst with a full list of specialty drinks and icy cold crafts. Stop in or call today to make a reservation. We are gonna love our lodge.
God, is that what the moose sounded like?
I don't remember the moose having quite that deep and gravelly a voice, but memory
We're doing a
might
bit of
not
a
be
Sam
served.
Elliott there. I feel
Yeah,
like,
I
right?
hated that. This
Yeah.
is supposed to be a Canadian. Why wasn't it like, hey out there, bud, fucking get down to Bugaboo Creek Lodge there, and
well, they're
we got
going
a lot
for
of great
more
beers and moose and stuff.
I think they're going for more of a Rocky Mountain themed. So it's more of like Alberta, like Rocky Mountains,
Yeah, but
Canada. I
I
think.
live in Alberta. People do not talk like that here.
No, of course not.
That's so disappointing.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's how I was told it would be.
Oh yeah, no, it's just regular Canadian here. We don't even really have the hoser accent in Alberta. That's more of an Ontario thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say
small town Alberta. Maybe they've got a little bit of a drawl, but not. Yeah, it's nothing. Doesn't
It's
sound
different,
anything
I
like
think.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you two caught the top YouTube comment there on that
I
video.
did see that. Yeah,
The guy just said, "I miss this place. Damn it!
just really
damn
upset
it!" in
about
all
it.
caps.
Yeah,
It's so nice to know that other people cared, because I was for a while very anti Outback Steakhouse because I incorrectly thought it was a poor imitation of Bugaboo Creek.
when I was in Australia last year, we didn't get to do it, but we were planning with Tom and Demi. We were planning on going to an Outback Steakhouse in Sydney, which would have just been.
They have them there.
They have them in Sydney. Yeah, they've got 3 or 4 of them apparently, which seems like fucking nuts to go to if you're in Australia.
Yeah.
Or any American themed anything I've been to out of the country. There's I remember when I went abroad for college I was in Barcelona, and they had just had a place called Obama Bar, and it was just a bar themed around Obama, and it was just it was so, the translation was just any American paraphernalia and a huge statue of Barack Obama. I wonder, it might still be open.
Yeah,
I don't really know.
no, it is permanently closed as well. The Obama Gastropub. This is in Barcelona. From the Obama, we offer you the best comforts to enjoy a pleasant time in the trendy bar of Barcelona in the center of the city. The best menu of food and drink. So, yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was, I have a picture with their huge Obama statue.
That's really good. God, have you seen the Family Guy bar in Osaka?
Oh my God,
no.
Let me see if I can.
No
find
I love
it.
that this menu is mostly American, but then it also has paella on it. So I'm just imagining going to Barcelona and going to the Obama bar for paella.
Dan, did you say you went there?
Yeah, I went to the Family Guy bar.
You
when
went to
I
the
was in
Family Guy bar in Osaka? What was it like?
It sucked. It's like an American dive bar. Except it had a bunch of Family Guy things printed out and put up it was terrible.
That's so funny.
That's most themed. There's the one in Koreatown in LA called Cafe Jack that's Titanic themed. And the exterior is, I think I've been saying for years, I haven't been in a long time, but Caitlin and I used to go the day that the Titanic sunk, to be respectful.
Right.
We would go every April 14th. And it's a sushi restaurant, but the last time we went, which was like easily 5 years ago, I'm pretty sure, I mean, they have karaoke rooms, but I've never heard music coming from there. I don't think they have a kitchen because I am certain the last time we went, I ordered sushi, the rose roll, because they're all it's themed around the movie, not the actual historical event.
They have like the unsinkable Molly roll.
There, maybe I got the rose roll, and then I saw someone deliver it. Like I don't even know if they make sushi there. It's and like you're saying, I mean, a lot of laser jet framed photos of the movie Titanic that are all kind of wet now. Did they have like Family Guy themed drinks?
Yeah, Dan, what was the deal? Like what was the menu like?
They just had like typical like beer, and they called it whatever the beer was in the show. I don't remember, but it was also bad.
Cool.
Everything was bad. There was nothing good about that experience going there.
Front of Cafe Jack does look kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at it right now. It's like it looks like the front of a boat.
You think it's going to be awesome, but I don't even know if they have a kitchen there. That said, I would recommend the experience. Like, why not? But
their website is dead. I'm seeing pictures on Instagram, and you're right. It's not. They were definitely not like, hey, maybe we should like try to get an artifact from the Titanic that people might want to come and see. It literally is just printed pictures from the movie.
That's really good.
It's also permanently closed. This is all my spots. I'm fucked.
All of these horrible restaurants are going under somehow.
Oh geez.
Oh my God.
This is some
really hard with
the mural on the wall.
I'm trying to think if Vancouver has any like really weird themed restaurants.
I know there's the Australian one, the Loose Moose, but I've never been to it.
But I think that's also owned by someone from Australia.
It is, and Vancouver has a lot of Australians in it, so it makes sense.
That makes a bit more sense, yeah. But I don't know that we have. It is. I don't know if we have any like anything themed after like a media property necessarily.
Oh, a media property.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there is. I don't think there is.
I know I almost went back in the day before you weren't allowed to do this. I almost went to the Harry Potter bar in Toronto.
Right.
But then then it was just like you couldn't it was hard to get in, and it didn't seem that cool. So I was like, all right.
We've got a million, but like I guess it makes sense. But the like there are ones I didn't go to. I know that there was like an Austin Powers bar in Burbank for a while that people seemed to like, but they were just themed around the two places that, because I didn't want to go because I was like, I don't think I really want to meet that character, because it was like around two famous perverts, because it was like Austin Powers and Beetlejuice bar, and you're like,
oh, I knew about the Beetlejuice bar.
I want to go.
The Beetlejuice bar was like really insane, right? Like I want to say it was like the waiter was dressed as Beetlejuice and he was like really aggressive to everyone, I guess, like Beetlejuice would be, like, which I guess is authentic. Like, you know, like it reminds me of there was in England, I think they had a thing a couple years ago where you could like call a Grinch to your house to scare your kids or whatever. And one of the Grinches went completely apeshit and like tore up the house and like ripped up all the kids' toys and like dumped milk everywhere. And everyone's like, well, it was the Grinch. Like, what'd you expect?
Yeah, you paid for the Grinch.
Yeah, it's a pretty authentic experience.
I feel that way because there's been a Beetlejuice like character that just wanders around Universal Studios, and he really does just follow women around. It's not fun. Like,
oh my God.
So I'm Beetlejuice. What do you want?
Right. He's like, what? Come over here. You're like, I don't like this. There was I'm sorry. I sidetracked us so severely.
No, this is perfect.
How is this sidetracked? This is
the main track.
We're right on track.
2 years ago, I forget if we've talked about it. I worked at a haunted hayride here in Griffith Park. And I was doing it for research, but then I never really did anything with it. So in fact, I just worked there, it turns out.
It's now just in my job history on my resume.
It's just on my resume. And it was really hard. And I respect scare actors a lot. But there was this guy who was in the band, the Monty Revolta band. And Monty Revolta, I've been going every year since, because Monty Revolta is like an unbelievable, just like charisma off the charts, like scary parody band. But his like bassist, one of the guys in the band, was always like, I don't know, everyone was like, oh, his vibes are bad. And then one time in the makeup trailer, one of the makeup artists was like, I have some gossip about the musician that I don't remember if he played the bass. I don't want to implicate anyone, but they were like, oh, that guy that everyone feels weird around. I learned that he used to work at Universal Studios as Beetlejuice and then got fired for like hitting on people in the park too much. So that's how you generally end up working at the Griffith Park Haunted Hayride. You're either 14 or you're disgraced in other haunted house circles.
Oh my God.
Becca and I just rewatched all 3 Austin Powers movies. Still pretty good.
They're still funny. They still hold up.
They still hold up. They're still pretty good. Yep.
Yeah.
Just a really good character.
I haven't seen is Beyonce, is that the third one?
Third one. Foxy Cleopatra.
Yeah, Foxy Cleopatra. I gotta rewatch that one. I've seen the first 2 a lot.
That's so funny that
she easily was in the worst one. The third one.
It is, unfortunately. But it still has its moments. It's so funny imagining her doing an Austin Powers movie now as like the most famous woman in the world.
Oh, totally. Like,
and she was like famous back then, but like not that.
And
famous.
Wrote a song specifically for Austin Powers too.
Yeah,
like that.
Wait, I didn't remember
performed.
that.
Yeah, it's like on the soundtrack. I can't remember what song it is, but
doesn't she sing it in the movie?
She sings it in the movie. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It was clear, like it was clear that she was like, yeah, this is the type of movie that I should be writing a song for.
Incredible.
I like that. I hope that like happens more.
It is called
again.
Work It Out. Sorry, Jamie. Work It Out.
Oh, I know that song.
That's
Wow, a Beyonce B-side for Austin.
A lot of cameos. That was the one where it had like, well, I think Kevin Spacey was Dr. Evil, I think, at the beginning, but which sort of fits, I guess. But then Tom Cruise was Austin Powers, right?
Yeah, because the beginning scene is they're filming a movie that is basically about Austin Powers 1. Yes. Essentially. And so, Tom Cruise is Austin Powers and Kevin Spacey is Dr. Evil. And I feel like there's some more stunt casting in that.
Danny DeVito is Mini-Me, wasn't
Yes, that's right. Danny DeVito is Mini-Me. And I'm trying to think of who the villain is. Or no, it's Dr. Evil. But then I feel like there's another, like Tom Cruise is getting chased on the highway or something. And there's another.
Isn't it Rob Lowe? No, Rob Lowe's just in
Rob Lowe's just in it.
He
plays the young version of number 2.
Right. That's what it is.
He's like a main.
Yeah. Odd.
A lot of cool sex pests in that movie if you want to check it out. Austin Powers.
And a middling Beyonce song. Soul.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway. I feel like the like heyday of like the good celebrity like album contributions is over, because now it's just like a lot of people half-assing it for like kids movie soundtracks. I always think of the Tyler the Creator Grinch soundtrack.
Oh my God.
Sure.
Yeah.
That song kind of imps though. I kind of like that song.
The main song is good.
Yeah. I guess this is actually sort of like, this feels like something that would have happened in the 90s, but the Eminem Venom song as well.
Oh my God, I love that song.
So crazy. It's really good. Yeah. It's just Eminem saying Venom a bunch, and it kind of works.
I don't think he even looked up the character. Like it's the first Despicable Me soundtrack too is really special because it's by Pharrell, and I think you could tell that he did not think the movie was going to be successful.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being successful. And Despicable Me 2, he writes Happy. He writes a generational bop. But for Despicable Me 1, if you listen to the Pharrell songs, they're so half-assed. The theme song is just him being like, Despicable Me. And then he's just like... It's really slow. It just says the title of the movie every so often. He's just like mumbling his way through it. But
Despicable Me. I'm despicable.
That is,
he's like, I'm having a bad day. Nothing is going my way. Despicable Me. You're like, that's crazy that he probably got paid $1 million to do that.
Oh yeah. Well, and isn't there? He kind of does like a version of "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," but like about Gru, right? Isn't
Mr.
that
Gru.
one?
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
To bring it all the way around, a themed, I think it was like a themed IHOP menu I did on my birthday was the Despicable Me like 4 menu, and the themed menus for Minions specifically are so insanely bad. Like they had something that was called like Gru Cold Brew. They didn't even bother calling it.
How do you call it cold brew?
It's right
Cold brew.
there.
Okay.
They also had evil mac and cheese, which made me laugh a lot.
What? That's so half-assed. Oh my god!
I tried
I
to look
love
up the
it.
menu on IHOP and it blocked me. You are unable to access IHOP.com. IHOP.com/minions. I got blocked.
Oh
I'm
my
going
god!
I'm going to an incog. No, it thinks I'm not a human and it won't
They
let
don't
me.
want to admit that they couldn't get to cold brew.
Holy fuck.
like-
I gotta find the image of this.
Brew
then.
cold coffee or
Yeah, here we go. Okay, so we've got there's mini donuts that are called Cinnaminions.
Okay, that's
that's all right.
Sure, okay.
And then we've got Bubba Banana Pudding Pancakes, because the Minions like to
I
say
had those.
Bubba
Okay.
Banana. Then, yes, as Jamie suggested, there is Cold Brew iced coffee.
But it's
There's
not.
Okay,
also-
It's
so they
not.
did it.
Wait, is it cold brew?
It is
It is
Cold Brew.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Cold
okay.
Brew iced
thank
coffee. There's
God.
also Minion Mango OJ Splasher. And then they really ran out of inspiration for the Gru's Evil Steak Burger.
Okay,
I
come
don't
on
know.
now.
I'm glad that I wonder if they like. I feel like I have a picture of it saying "Brew Cold Coffee." I wonder if they changed it.
They must have. Yeah, I mean, I think there probably would have been a lot of backlash from both like the restaurant community and the Minions community, because that's so
Yeah,
mailed in. It's such bullshit.
I mean, I think we have grown to expect more
Absolutely.
from our themed menus.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I'm Gru's Evil Steak Burger. What? What more could you want? Fucking hell. Anyway, speaking of Gru's Evil Steak Burger, let's move on to our social media updates.
What a fucking good segue. Now let's move on. It's time to discuss what popped up in your feed. Who are you following? What did you see? Sports or politics, tweets and skis, hot takes on the TL or fast food freaks. It's our social media update.
Jamie, we always like to start with the guest. What is going on your social media?
Oh boy, not less than I would expect. I guess I'm working on this new show. I feel like has ruined my algorithm in ways that I'm learning about things I never would have expected. I had a question for you guys because I've been noticing this a lot on Twitter specifically recently, where at the top of my feed there's always like a really successful subtweet of someone I've never heard of, where it's like a quote tweet that's like, well, we all know who this is about, or like she would. And I was like, who is she? And then there's so many bots to go through that you're like, I never figure out who is being referred to or what is the problem. I've never felt older.
I do feel like, I mean, I'm not on Twitter anymore, but even on, I mean, it happens on Blue Sky. It's just like much lower stakes. But it's the same sort of thing where
on Blue Sky,
there are bots on Blue Sky now, which I think is a sign that it's becoming a bit more successful. You can post video on there now, I think, which is nice.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the same sort of idea where I think it is just us getting older, right? Where like, even if you found out who the person was, you'd be like, who the fuck is that? I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I've been feeling, I guess my update is I've been feeling much, much older.
Yes.
than
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that has been on my mind is, I recently did an episode about the curvy wife guy.
Oh
Yes.
my God. Jamie.
And he is very litigious, so I'll just leave it at that. But he dropped a new single this past week, and all of his singles are a variation on a theme, and you won't believe what the theme is. but
Democracy.
it's not. It's the new song is called Gordita Gang.
Okay.
Oh, right. 'Cause
and-
that's what he calls his fans, right? Or like fans of him and his
Yeah.
wife. Yeah.
which many are saying is maybe gross and don't do that.
Yep.
Mhm. But in any case, I've been getting a lot of targeted ads for his music. I can't make them stop. It's all like Gordita Gang and the Mormon Church. So kind of a dark period online for
That
me
is
right
tough.
now.
I never really thought about that, but yes, the corners of the internet you're going to for your pod. It must be really fucking up your algo. Maybe you need like a Finsta, but like
Things I actually care about.
a heinous Finsta for for things you hate, and then you don't have to look them up.
Is there any social media platform where you can like reset your algorithm outside of just starting a new account? Or is it just like, because I really wish I could just start over. I want my algorithm to be reset. I don't want, I know that devalues me data wise, but
I think you can. I think if you search for the same things over and over,
you
then
can sort of reset it that way.
I'm always searching for big titties, TITYS, and it's working out great.
Yeah, I will say
good.
I do. I think a lot of people don't like Blue Sky for there's not a lot going on over there, but it is starting to pick up a bit more. But the nice thing about it is that your timeline is just the people you follow in chronological order, which is like. Yeah, it feels very nice just to see that. It's like what you choose to put in there, and it's in chronological order. And you can go to like the Discover feed, and for me, it is a lot of guys soft cocks for whatever reason. But that is like actually also popular on Blue Sky as well. So it's not based on anything I've.
That's more of a Blue Sky thing.
It's more of a Blue Sky thing, I think. Yeah. So
the really like I never have actually thought about this, but truly like the death of like Tweetbot was a nightmare for me. Like Elon coming in and like just nuking the API so that you couldn't use third-party apps that would just assemble your feed with no ads and in chronological order really has fucked it up for me. It's made it like other things have fucked it up too, but that was really the first sign. I never even thought about that so much, but yeah, I miss Tweetbot. What a great app that was.
Oh boy.
I did not. I will say, Jamie, Curvy Wife Guy was crazy. Exactly what I expected. And I just really, we don't have to make this show about your pod, but the Chicken Man, that was what he was the exact opposite of what I was expecting as a man. I was listening to it on a plane and I was doing other stuff. I was playing video games and I like stopped playing my video game and I was just like, I guess raw dogging, but not raw dogging the flight because I was listening to the podcast. The Chicken Man, he was so like, just what a wild guy, what a wild character.
that felt like a spiritual experience with the Chicken Man. I feel like I met him at just the right time. I'm so glad I got to meet him in person. And it was like the most beautiful day in Philadelphia. And then he was just like, I don't know, saying these very confusing, wise things. I loved it. I loved every second of it. And he was so nice. And he's like sent me a song afterwards of like, thanks for having me on the podcast. And the song was so good that my boyfriend got upset. It was like...
I can't picture Grant getting mad, really. I guess I've seen him get mad on Everything Now show when I was on, but yeah.
That's where he draws the line. Is viral star the Chicken Man writes a tweet song for his girlfriend.
He's like, that's cool. That's cool that he wrote you a whole song, which probably took a lot of time and clearly... You're on his mind. And I was like,
how long were you at his house for when you interviewed him? How long was that?
It was a beautiful song though. Yeah, the Chicken Man. Like, that was like my favorite surprise.
It was totally unbelievable. Like I was fully expecting it to be just like some frat guy that was just like, yeah, I could eat 30 chickens in 30 days or whatever it was, 40 and 40, or I can't remember the number, but like. Yeah. I fully thought it was just going to be some bro guy. And then it being like the opposite of that was really, it was like crazy.
Weird, mellow person. Yes. Yeah, he is the greatest. Shout out to him.
Shout out to the Chicken Man. Stefan, what's going on your social media?
Oh God. Well,
Stop cocks on blue sky.
yeah. I mean, I try to stay away from Twitter. Obviously,
Sure.
it sucks, but unfortunately, like I think Elon Musk posted the worst post of all time.
I think it's the worst post of all time.
Oh,
I actually
yeah.
think it's
might
the worst
be the worst post of all time. I mean, this is coming out, like a week after he said it, basically. But Taylor Swift endorsed Harrison Walls right after the debate and signed off with love and hope. Taylor Swift, childless cat lady, which is a reference to JD Vance saying that single women are all the Democrats are childless cat ladies and they don't care about the future of the country because they don't have kids. Blah blah blah. And then Elon Musk posted. It's just viscerally unappealing. Like, just he's already like the most unappealing man to ever live, I think. And then I was saying this in a group chat, but it's kind of like when if you're watching like an anime, you're watching like Dragon Ball Z, and like the villain reveals like a second form that's even more powerful than the last. Because like I didn't think he could get more annoying and more weird and more off-putting, and then he posted, "Find Taylor." And by the way, a space, then ... You win.
Real
Space,
old man.
Yeah, because he's like 55 years old. I will give you a child and guard your cats with my life. Just so. I mean, there's not much that needs to be said about it. It's so fucking bad and so unappealing. And I mean, the replies are going to be absolute dog shit, of course, because it's all blue check psychos. And
is he posting this because he thinks it's funny? Like, does he think this is a joke?
Yes.
That's what you think? Yeah.
He thinks he is funny. I mean, that's the
thinks he's
thing.
making a joke.
We have talked about this so many times on here before, but it one of the funniest things in the world is that he's like the richest guy in the world, and all he wants is to be funny, and he can't do it. He just cannot do it. It's so good. I fucking love it. But
it's wild because at this point we have well over a decade of him trying, and it's like not a single hit. It's an unprecedented record.
It's nuts. Like, he has done funny stuff before by accident, right? Like to me, his previous worst post, ignoring all of like the insane like racist fascist shit, was when, let me look this up here. I got to get the exact wording right. It's when, I don't like the taste or effects of most alcohol, but there is something quite beautiful about red wine in a fine glass. I mean, that stinks. That's such a fucking insane psycho thing to post, seriously. But
I thought it was cool because finally a tweet was saying what I was thinking.
Well, of course, yeah. But it's also just like really funny too. God, I just looked up Elon Musk red wine to find the post, and there's another one from 7 years ago, which is a little red wine, vintage record, some Ambien, and magic.
Like, is he saying that those things together are magic, or he's watching magic while he's?
No, I think it's the
Is
combination.
he playing magic?
He could be playing
I guess
magic.
he could
Yeah,
be
good point.
playing magic. Yeah, that's true. Jesus Christ! I mean, that's so fucking bad.
That's some nasty business right
so
there.
Bad.
Yeah, somebody's already.
Well, yeah, you don't even have to take. Yeah, yes. I mean, yeah, you're right, Dan. Bleep out what you said, but people will know. I think they'll get the general context of it. But oh my God, yeah. I mean, I saw the post last night, and it was like, God, we're gonna have to talk about this on the episode tomorrow, aren't we?
Mhm.
I was so mad, but yeah, just fucking awful.
It sucks because it also makes Taylor Swift look like great by comparison, which is like, oh God, she really does love to do the bare minimum at the last possible second.
Yeah.
And I only think she's doing it because of that picture of her and like Brittany Mahomes that came out a couple of days ago. I feel like it's just like a really quick, like, ooh, how do I change the narrative around me, like bear hugging a bunch of psychos?
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Yeah, she's good at it.
Speaking of a bunch of psychos, John, what's your?
Oh baby, obviously
this one is really bad. Too.
Obviously, the debate last night, Trump said some wild shit. I try to avoid just like, hey, here's a crazy thing that Trump said. But this one also having the banner at the bottom that says Elon Musk to join Trump administration is a real nice cherry on top there. But yeah, Trump is, I guess, trying to foster some, transphobic hate or whatever. And just says this like crazy thing. And it's more crazy because, I'll get to it in a second. But yeah, go ahead.
Can you imagine you're a parent and your son leaves the house and you say, Jimmy, I love you so much. Go have a good day in school. And your son comes back with a brutal operation. Can you even imagine this? What the hell is wrong with our country?
What?
So this made me laugh because like Bobby Big Wheel really summed it up in a tweet as well, past guest of the show, that like they don't have money for pencils in school. Like, what if they think is going to happen that like they're going to start paying for surgery for kids?
And he comes home recovered also.
Yeah, he comes home recovered.
Yeah.
He walks home and he's fully recovered. And it just is so insane to even like say or think or just, and I obviously I know that it sucks, but yeah, Bobby's tweet was, this is definitely happening. Public schools are paying for invasive surgery. Anyway, here's the Amazon wish list for my 3rd grade class.
Yeah.
Like it just, it's so, all of that shit is so crazy. But yeah, that one was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. That's never going to happen in any world.
No, and he brought it up, I think, again yesterday in the debate or something. Yeah. Anyway, it was God.
The Abdul quote from last night was the one that really stuck with me. I'm trying to find it.
Was that about the Taliban? I think, right? When I'm just trying to piece things together from just reading like posts about it. I guess
because I refuse to give this 90 minutes of my time.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I need to find the exact quote.
God.
I sent Abdul from the Taliban a picture of his house, and he said, "Why are you sending me a picture of my house?" And I said, "You're going to have to figure that out, Abdul." That was his response to, "Why did you invite leaders from the Taliban to Camp David?"
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Oh boy.
It's pretty bleak. It's pretty bleak out there.
It is.
Yeah.
Pretty bleak. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of things being bleak, let's move on to our block tale.
What did you tweet? You brought receipts, blocktail, woo! No longer can see that post, it's a blocktail, woo! You probably deserved it, it's a blocktail.
All right, Jamie, the floor is yours.
Okay, so I'm not going to give a username for this. I was like, oh, have I run out of people I've been blocked by? Fortunately, no. This is a person who I guess has been like listening to my work for a long time now, for years. I'm like wondering if you have comparable stories, because I feel like I feel like it reveals how insecure I am, but also how like weird people can be, where it was someone who is listening to my new show and would respond every week with a detailed reason of why they were not going to listen anymore. It's like when you have someone listening that thinks that you are at your house working full time to make a show that's just for them, that reflects their exact experience.
Definitely had that in like our Discord for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
I find it really interesting because I can't tell if they're like, they don't think that I see it, even though I'm tagged in it, but I'm like, I don't have that much going on. I do see it every week. And every week they were in my head. I was thinking about, what are they going to say about the next episode? And I was trying to and I all of a sudden knew facts about their life and like things they liked to hear about, things they didn't like to hear about. The fact that they felt that I had a hatred of Gen X that made me an impossible source to interact with. And like, it was this really bizarre months-long thing. And then I looked back at how many times they tweeted at me, and they've done this for shows I've made for years. Like, they've listened to every single thing, but gotten angry about something. And I've replied more than I remembered too. Like I was like, oh, I'm sorry you didn't like it. Like it sounds like maybe this is like just maybe not a show that you like. And they would reply like, I'm always hoping for better next week. And then I get another essay the next week. And it was finally after years, a couple weeks ago, they blocked me. It's over.
They blocked you.
Over.
Wow.
They blocked
Okay.
you.
Yeah, which I think speaks to how insecure I am that instead of just blocking them like I should have 3 years ago.
You waited for them to break up with you, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
All while they were living in my head rent free as well. Because I would think about them so much. I was like, especially when it was like, I'm really excited about this episode. I feel good about it. And I was like, but someone's not going to be very happy. And like, I just, I talked about them at home. I don't know. It feels like someone who I know that I should not be letting people get to me like this. But I wonder if like if they are hopeful that they've gotten to me in the way that I now have to publicly admit that they have.
Right.
And that this is not the first time this was in a block, but like I had someone who was like doing really stalkery stuff for a while. And I was like freaked out by it. He was coming to shows. I was like uncomfortable about it, but I didn't want to like, I don't know, getting a restraining order here, even if it sounds like it would work, I feel like never works and always makes the problem worse and just like puts a target on your back and lets people know that, you know, you've noticed how scary they're being.
Yeah.
So I just kind of let it lie. And then I stopped getting replies from him all the time. And then I went to his profile so that I went looking for him. I was like, what was that guy's name again? How's he doing? What's going on? And
checking in on your stalker.
Yeah.
Yes. And months later, I was like, where did he go? What happened to him? And then I checked his profile and he was like in a really happy relationship. And I was alone. And I was like, what is this? Like, what is this relationship? And I felt like, you know, it's definitely just like people pleaser shit, but also like, why am I checking up on my stalker and being disappointed that he's moved on? And like, and I should have just blocked these people years ago, but instead they're on my mind. I think about them often and they're kind of like, they've moved on from me, but here I am. I don't know. Have you had this experience before?
Yeah, I'll sometimes check in on like freaks who have like bothered us, whether it was like in the Discord or just like personally or whatever, and just see, you know, I'm usually hoping for the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is just like interesting. It's like, well, what made them just get bored? You know, like
what's always like,
right? You're like, what did I do? Like,
yeah, what did I do wrong? Am I boring
it's so
now?
horrible that I saw his like he was posted like camping with my girlfriend or whatever, and I was like, am I ugly now? Like, what?
it is so definitely irrational. It's weird to think about, like, and I've done this before too, where it's like, what is the turning point?
Yeah.
You know, where like, because sometimes we've talked about this on the show a ton, but like we'll get some Patreon exit survey where the person is mean, where they're very mean, you know, and it's like usually to me, but Stefan, I'll say in the last year or so, it's increased on your part as well. But I don't send those to you because I'm a good friend, and why would I do that?
Yeah,
but I don't check them. I'm like, okay, fine, I fell off. You win.
Yeah, but it is just weird to think because they'll say something where it's like, it's not just like, because sometimes we do get people who are just like, I don't listen anymore, and that's totally fine. We've been doing this show for 6 years. That's very normal to be like, I just don't listen anymore, or I just don't like the show as much as I used to. That is a very normal thing to say and to feel.
I don't like it either. So
yeah,
I hear what you're
exactly.
saying.
That's why we're stopping, motherfucker. But it's when you get the ones that are like very specifically mean, and then you look and they've been like donating to the show for years, like they've literally given you hundreds of dollars of their money, and then you're like, well, what was like the breaking point? Like, how did you go from like, I like this show enough to give them hundreds of dollars, and now I'm like, I think John is the worst person on earth, or what? You know, like it's very strange.
I feel like there should be a word for it. Yeah, because it's like, it's not something that I don't know, whatever. I guess it is just like a part of the job to some extent to have to like interface with that. But I just am like, what is that? Like people who are willing to sink what seems like inordinate amounts of time and sometimes money into like this kind of patronizing, like, I just was hoping you'd get better, but you never got better. It's like, then why are you like, it is so fine to not listen.
Yep. So fine. So
but having
fun.
it presented as like, I will give you another opportunity to impress me. And then and I'm such a sucker for that. I was like, thank God.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're totally right. And it is funny to also have that where, you know, and I'm like a bit of a, like my first reaction often is when people specifically make a comment of like, your show isn't what I was hoping it was going to be, or it didn't deliver on this like idea I had in my head. I'm like, how about you make your own fucking show? Like you try it, you know, like we get that more with my new metal podcast because people have very strong opinions about music. And so you'll often get like, oh, you guys hate this band, but you love this band and like, screw you and whatever. And it's like, okay, why don't you make a podcast? Guess what? Like probably 30 people will listen to it, but you go ahead and do it. Like it just, that is the thing, you know, and I think especially for your podcast, Jamie, where, you know, you're obviously putting in tons of time and research. You're traveling to meet these people often. You know, the show is very like highly produced, well written. You know, it's like you literally couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. So leave me alone. Like
it's just, yeah, I don't know. And I always, I'm like, I really do care too much. I really do care what people think who listen to stuff like, you know, but the boundaries, there's got to be a point where, that piece of feedback always like drives me up a wall of like, show isn't what I expected. I was like, what is not there? Like, what is I got a review recently that was like, I miss when Jamie wrote scripts. I was like, do you think that I didn't write it? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? It's really bizarre. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's like, I know that like parasocial stuff is like talked into the fucking ground, but I feel whatever the like opposite of it is, like I deeply don't want to disappoint this specific stranger who is addicted to contacting me. Like,
oh yeah, I feel that too for sure. Absolutely, 100%.
I want to please them. I want to show them that I do care about the concerns of Gen X, and I don't even know what they look like. They just had like a picture, like a black and white picture of someone I don't know who it is, and. And now I'll never know because I'm blocked.
Because you're blocked. Yeah.
So I got blocked, I guess, is my story this week.
Okay. Now, Stefan, we have an investigation on this for this week's listener block.
Okay.
And this is very bizarre to me.
Okay.
So this one comes in from, I guess this is from Owen.
Okay.
They wrote in, I blocked @BlockedPartyPod on Twitter because I was being served targeted ads for the show, and I block any advertisers. I started listening to the show around when Stefan pretended to get the Baby Yoda tattoo and realized what I had done. I did not unblock, but I did continue listening. RIP, rest in piss. So I replied, wait, you got targeted ads for our podcast? We never signed up for that or paid for them. And they said, wait, seriously? That's so weird. Yeah, I got several promoted tweets. I blocked after seeing more than one. I wasn't following Stefan or you. For some reason, I'm assuming John maintains the email. Yes, that's a very good assumption at the time. And I would have noticed if they were retweets from someone else. Timeline-wise, it was probably a couple months before the Grogu White Claw tattoo stuff, which should be easy enough to date.
What the fuck?
We absolutely never paid for promoted tweets.
Ever.
So I don't know if...
And it was from our account?
Yes. They said that it was a promoted tweet from @BlockedPartyPod and they had to block it. So either they're wrong or we somehow someone was paying or Twitter was promoting our shit.
What if they were giving free, like, were they ever giving away free promoted? That's insane.
I wonder if would that be something that they would do to make it seem like more people are paying for ads than actually are?
Maybe, yeah. That's so crazy.
I think it's just our listeners a dumbass.
That is very possible.
Yeah, that's true. That could be the case. But yeah, that's very interesting. And there's no way to really look into it.
Never
either.
paid for promoted tweets, and we didn't like we. That would have been before even, because like now we do have like ads and stuff, but that would have been even predating like when the pod had ads.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and we've never been on a network, so it's not like it would be the network promoting it without us knowing or something.
Yeah. That's very strange.
I've been thinking, I mean, promoted tweets, it's so, I think one promoted tweet, it's always the same account. I don't know, like, if other people get him or if he's just been assigned as my tether, but there's a musician called Solar Heavy. John, have you ever gotten the Solar Heavy?
Solar Heavy.
Under every tweet with a certain amount of engagement, I get a promoted ad from a guy named Solar Heavy, and it's just like, you've got to check out my new track, and it's like under everything.
No,
I can't mute, so I guess I should block Solar Heavy, but now I kind of find him like a comforting presence.
I sort of wrote down this, Jamie, because I did not get that musician, but there was a musician, a Canadian musician called Jamie Nix, spelled like Knox, but Nix, like K-N-Y-X.
Oh.
And he wrote a song for the Freedom Convoy in Canada called Just Drive.
Okay.
And then that would just show up underneath. Like, I got that so many times, but that's the only musician I sort of recognized. I love, if you go to Jamie Nix's website, it asks you to sign up for his mailing list, not even for his music. The first thing it says is, learn how censorship is happening all over the internet, including Google and the social media platforms. Okay. Opt in to receive messages from Jamie Nix in the future. So
wow.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe you are just assigned a tether, because it's like Solar Heavy is not a big account, but every day, like, and I accidentally click on the YouTube link sometimes and start listening to what's the song I always end up listening to? His latest single, Come Around. Yeah, I'm in the middle of watching it on YouTube right now, apparently. I don't know. Yeah, the way that ads on Twitter work is so like opaque, like who fucking
and now it's
Solar Heavy.
I'll just see screenshots from time to time of like what's on there, and it's
you might be right. Maybe I do sort of recognize this guy's profile picture. Dan, I want to listen to this Freedom Convoy song for a minute here.
Ooh, yeah,
I've never heard it.
Want to listen to it?
Well, I mean, not because I think it'll be funny, not because I support the convoy.
Don't support the convoy?
I don't. No, can't say that I do.
All right,
here we go. Well, it starts with honking horns. That's good.
Okay, good start. Okay.
Wow, decent number of views.
Oh.
Okay.
We run wide open.
Oh, he's a guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Living life without fear.
Oh my God.
Now really don't know.
Okay, I just saw producer Dan commenting on it 0 seconds ago. I love to have sex with my truck. Thank you, Dan. Oh my God.
How much of this do we have to listen to?
I think we're good.
Yeah, that's good.
I do like. What is he going for here?
It's like if a country band was fronted by Scott Stapp is what he's going.
It feels a little Bon Jovi-ish too.
Oh
kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like getting a little bit of Mellencamp in there.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. I am crying. Love this so much. My mom is a truck driver who is almost 80 years old and still driving. A lot of my family are truck drivers. Thank you for taking a stand for our freedom.
Thank you for taking a stand for everything that prevents my mom from retiring as a truck driver.
Yeah, exactly.
Canadian truckers have become the heroes the world needs so desperately.
That's right. Yep. And everybody was saying, leave it up to the Canadian truckers. They'll be our guiding light, our North Star. Oh boy, really tough stuff. Anyway, if you want to send in a listener block, you can do so by sending us an email at blocked@blockedparty.com. And remember, we only have like 4 main episodes left. So if you got a really good one burning a hole in your email, I guess, send it to us. You can also donate to the show at patreon.com/blockparty. Of course, the show is ending, but we are keeping the bonus episodes going. So if you want to hear me and Stefan past the middle of October, that's the place to do it. Patreon.com/blockparty. 3 bonus episodes every single month, including this week, a Canadian education episode with our friend Luke Taylor. He joined us to watch the initial CGI cartoon reboot. It was quite bad, but we had a great time talking about it with Luke, so make sure you tune in for that. We also do have Top 3 Weekend 2 coming up. It's our second ever live show. Brian Quinby's coming up from Columbus. They're going to do a live Guys, him and Chris James. Chris will also be doing Not Even a Show. And we're going to be doing a couple live blocked parties, so come check it out at the Biltmore Cabaret in Vancouver, October 11th and 12th. Tickets are available at bit.ly/top3, the digit 3. Weekend individual show tickets are also now on sale. So if you can't make the whole weekend, come and join us even for one show. We'd love to see you. And you can follow us on everything basically at Block Party Pod, Blue Sky, and YouTube at Block Party. And if you like the show, tell a friend. We're here at the end of the show. That means it's time for the top 3.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Uno, 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 uno.
Mustard.
3.
Socks. 2. Girlfriends.
Uno, 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 uno.
All right, Jamie, what do you have? The top 3.
I hope I searched the spreadsheet correctly. Halloween decorations is.
Oh, yeah, we haven't done that. Yeah. Top 3
Yes,
Halloween decorations. It is my birthday. So number 1 is a happy birthday banner for me.
Wow.
Jamie, great. Halloween decorations. Give us your number 3, please.
Okay, so I love Halloween. I just started Halloween shopping the other day. This is in my top 3, but my favorite new thing I acquired is an eyeball doorbell.
So you like press it and it's an eyeball you press?
It looks like a little stone thing. You press the doorbell and then an eyeball opens up and it goes, "I see you."
Oh my
God.
Really cool. And it talks and talks for about 10 seconds. And at the end it says, "Okay, come in." So that was great. That's $15 at Target. I was getting gassed up. So it's just been on my mind.
Putting that on your doorbell all year round would be that would be a good bet.
I didn't take down my Halloween decorations, or all of them, from last year, so I still do have a wreath of crows just on my front door, and have for a year. So I just put the doorbell above it, and I'm sure the other people in the duplex are really thrilled. But it's easy because we have like 2 identical. Well, I shouldn't be describing where I live too close, but whenever we do delivery, I like, it's like, well, which door? It's like crow wreath, and I've never gotten it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so but my number 3, I would say, is the old tapes of spooky sounds that you will play. That's a classic. And there's so many good variants. I feel like it's the Yule log of Halloween. Yeah. I love it. I found one when we were cleaning out my childhood house. I found one that was like a specific McDonald's themed one. Wow. So it's just like werewolf, Ronald McDonald being like, "Is it Halloween yet?" Really good. So you also have a good variety. So that's number 3.
That's a great number 3. Tone. Wow. Okay. Number 3 for me. I kind of like the funny ones, so I'm going to go with the flattened witch flying into the door. Mm-hmm. That's a classic. That one always makes me laugh. I like that one a lot. That's my number 3, because I do think there are a lot of funny Halloween decorations out there, and that might be the funniest one in my opinion. That's my number 3. John?
Sorry, Stefan, what'd you say?
The witch, the flat witch that it's like you
yes.
put it on the door. It's like she's just flown into the door. That one's
Dan,
good.
I found the McDonald's tape. Can you bring it up for us,
God.
please? I would like to hear
Whoa.
part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it apparently came in a Happy Meal in 1995.
Let's just have it playing for the
Sounds
rest of the top
great.
3
Oh, that's a good idea.
as just background noise. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's.
Hello, all you ghosts and goblins. Halloween broadcast on McDonald's Magical Radio.
McDonald Land Magical Radio? Is that what he said?
Yeah, I think that's what he said. Yeah.
Song from my very own album, Ronald Makes It Magic. So I hope everyone's ready for some Halloween fun. What do you like best about
I
Halloween?
think it's a song first. It looks like
Oh, it opens with a pop.
a song called "I Like
It
to
opens
Scare
with a
Myself."
Q&A, actually.
Yeah.
Not the snowy rooftops.
You're on holiday, Grimace.
Ooh, now I remember what
Yeah,
I
you
like best about
dumbass.
Halloween. Go ahead, Grimace. It's the bunnies.
Oh, Grimace!
Oh,
Come on,
Grimace.
Grimace!
Singing a song from my album, Ronald Makes It Magic. Here's Grimace to tell us what he likes best about Halloween.
Oh my God. Okay, stop. I can't listen.
Very thankful. Absolutely nothing frightening around.
So you want me to stop it now?
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
Dan,
we're good.
stop.
But you wanted to hear this.
Wow.
Can be fun, and it's almost magical.
Oh my God.
There's something in my closet, something underneath my bed. Are the noises I hear real, or just inside my head? Am I making?
This is pretty good for Grimace.
Yeah.
Grimace 8 on this one.
Yeah, Grimace has bars.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm surprised he can sing that fast.
Yeah, it's impressive.
it really can be
Oh my God. Okay, Grimace.
fun. Like
Okay.
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 that's-
No, it's not a second
First
verse. I
two.
can't do a second.
Yeah, that was awesome.
John, what's your number
My
three?
number 3, I'm going with the classic tombstone. Whether that is just like an image of a tombstone, like a flat, like you said, Stefan, like a flat cardboard tombstone, or when they, people have them on their lawn, especially if it's got like a funny name on it,
Yeah.
like
or the hand
RIP.
coming up in front of
Yeah,
it. you know?
hand coming up. Maybe it's like RIP Eileen Dover, or
Right.
something
Good,
like
I
that.
like good pun opportunity for
Yes.
those. Yeah.
Yes, it was really great. I used to love in elementary school too, where if your teacher would do that, they would put like their own name on the gravestone on like their classroom door or whatever, and they're like, "Guess
Yeah,
what? Kids, I'm dead." Yeah, pretty good. So I'm going Tombstone number 3. Jamie, you're number 2.
Number 2, this is going to be controversial because I feel like it'll be number 1 for many. I'm going 12-foot skeleton for number 2.
Yeah.
A recent hit in the Halloween community. I feel like they started popping up less than 10 years ago. There's a couple in my neighborhood. It's wild that there's like 2 within. I hope that they're back this year. There's one 12-foot skeleton within walking distance, and then also 1 12-foot Jack Skellington, which I don't really like very much. It's too
like it's a branded thing, right? So like it sort of takes away from the magic of Halloween a little bit.
I agree, and
Yeah.
I have Brandy Posey has a 12-foot skeleton that she has outside of her home that she just like keeps out like year round and dresses up for other holidays. I feel like the 12-foot skeleton can really become a part of your life in a very enjoyable way. So yeah, 12-foot skeleton number 2.
Nice, Stefan.
I'm gonna go with this is sort of an unsung hero, I feel like, but the fog machine.
Oh, yeah.
I think that adds a lot of atmosphere to any front yard or haunted house or what have you. And it's sort of there behind the scenes, like you're not really seeing it. You're seeing the end results of it, but it's just back there chugging along, doing its thing. And I don't think Halloween would be the same without it.
An unsung hero of Halloween.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because for my number 2, I was also thinking more of an effect than a decoration, and I was going to go, and it's not specific to Halloween, but does add a lot. I'm going to go with the classic strobe light.
Yeah.
When you get an intense. I remember the only time I've really been scared. There are obviously people who get really into Halloween, and some of them like to try to scare the kids. One of my neighbors growing up answered her door and had music playing and a strobe light going nuts. And then she jumped out from behind the door and was wearing a troll mask, but like the like the 90s trolls.
Yes.
It was like a mask, and then it had big yellow hair sticking up like the trolls.
Was it supposed to be scary?
Oh, it was supposed to be, and it was very scary because she like jumped out and she was like, rah, and the strobe light was fucking going off, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
That fucking rocks.
Yeah, it was very cool. Giving kids potentially epileptic seizures is kind of a good way to go on Halloween.
I love it. I love it.
Strobe light number 2. Jamie, you're number 1.
So number 1, I actually am going to get up and get it because I keep this in my bedroom year round.
Oh my God. Okay.
Hell yes, let's do it.
I just realized she's wearing a Christmas sweater also.
Yeah. Yeah. Christmas Florida style, I believe it says on the
yeah.
Which is wonderful.
That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What a great top 3. I guess it is kind of it is spooky season.
We're getting to spooky season. My
Okay,
birthday
what do we
is
have?
coming up. Okay.
Let's see. What do we have?
Jamie's number 1.
So this is I will specify that you've got to go to CVS for this one.
Okay.
It is the novelty singing Halloween toys that are vaguely upsetting. My favorite one is from 2018 or maybe 2017, the twerking mummy. I've got him here.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
He sings Pitbull's Fireball. Wait, watch.
Oh,
come on, bud.
oh wow. Holy shit.
I love him. He's
That's
got
so
little
nice.
sunglasses. This guy's in I don't put him away. He stays.
Twerking mummy.
It's nice to have the indoor decoration too, you know?
It's really nice.
Yeah.
All right, finish it off. Thank you.
Wow. That is unbelievable.
Wow.
Reminder, you can see this as a video episode on our YouTube, youtube.com/@blockparty. You will definitely want to see the twerking mummy. I'll tell you that.
Except no substitutes. I've looked up this company before. They also make a twerking Santa. They make other, but there's just like twerking mummy just really, really works for me. It's perfect.
Yeah, it is
really
perfect. Really good. Stefan?
Number 1 for me, the classic jack-o'-lantern.
Mm.
You know, it's a classic for a reason. I think no Halloween decorated front yard is complete without it. You can kind of customize it, put whatever you want on there. And it's a very fun activity if you're a kid, even if you're an adult. It's nice to walk around the neighborhood and see what the jack-o'-lanterns are looking like that year. And it's a classic for a reason.
Yep.
A real purist.
Yep. Love a good jack-o'-lantern. My number 1, I'm going with, this is also a newer thing. When people put the hanging legs out of the trunk of their car.
I like
That's
that.
good.
It's very good. It's like, hey, guess what? I fucking killed someone and they're in my car.
Yeah.
Check
Happy
it out,
Halloween.
kids. Happy Halloween. Trick or treat. There's a dead body in the trunk of my car, and I think that's pretty cool.
I appreciate that because it's like that's someone really saying I'm sure that I will never kill anyone. It reminds me of an Instagram account I've been following for like a year or so. It's like Vanity Plates of Maine, because for some reason in Maine it's ridiculously easy to get a vanity plate. And there was one I used to see when I was living in Maine last summer that was just like, it's just an innocent. And I was like, wow, like it's just so like the amount of confidence to think that you will never be guilty of anything to the point where you will never speed, because if you're pulled over, I don't know. I just think it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
The hanging legs rocks.
Yeah. Hanging legs, very cool. Especially I live in a wintry climate. So when people have them up for Halloween, they also get like snow and slush on the legs, and they like get beat up pretty good.
Disgusting.
Yeah, they get really it smell crazy in there. Definitely my number 1. Jamie, thank you so much. So great to have you back on the show. What a great top 3 and episode. Before we go, anything you'd like to plug?
Listen to 16th Minute. Episodes come out every Tuesday. I profile and usually talk to a notorious internet character of the day. It's really fun. That's where the Chicken Man is from. That's, Curvy Wife Guy. I've got an episode with the overly attached girlfriend next week. She's really nice. And always accepting requests from algorithms that I'm unfamiliar with.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's
All
a
right.
great show. I've listened to every episode. I love it. Definitely check it out. People can follow you. You are Jamie Christ Superstar on Instagram, and on
Yes.
Twitter, are you just at Jamie Loftus?
No, at Jamie Loftus Help.
At Jamie Loftus Help. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. So give Jamie a follow. Listen to 16th Minute. If you haven't read Raw Dog, do that as well. As for us, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and congratulations on an incredible main feed, you guys. 6 whole years.
Thank you.
Thank you. We
Thank
did
you.
it. We made
did
it. We've got all the blocks. We figured them all out, and now it's over.
We solved it.
We solved it. It took 300 and it'll take about 309 episodes, but we will have figured it all out. Thank you, Jamie. And yes, thanks everybody for listening. If you want to donate to the show, it's patreon.com/Block Party. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Block Party Pod, Blue Sky, and YouTube at Block Party. And we hope to see you at the live shows in Vancouver, October 11th and 12th. Tickets on sale now. And we will see you back here next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.